helping you to weather good and bad economies without putting retirement on hold. This is the Tumolo Financial Podcast with Ken and Nick Tumolo. Ken and his son Nick know that creating a comprehensive financial plan can align your hard-earned life savings with your retirement goals. Consider them your retirement architects. Now, the Tumolo Financial Podcast with Ken and Nick Tumolo.
So, Ken, the demand for annuities has been pretty significant over the last few years. We've been talking about it on the show quite a bit. That's because we've been seeing higher interest rates. And that's good news for those who bought variable annuities before 2021. They're keeping up with inflation. But for those who bought a fixed annuity at a lower rate, right now they're not reaping the benefits. Is there a way they can trade their annuity in for a new one?
Yes, there is.
Good.
That's the end of my answer. No. There's a lot of moving pieces there that I'd want to touch on. One, at the banks, we're already seeing the interest rates go down. And the thing that Nick and I will track is we'll even track the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year CD rates. And so we can look at them nationally in our system. And you're seeing that rate trend down. So now it's really starting to change the demand because people are like, oh, interest rates are going bye-bye. How do I get a good rate and keep it for a long period of time?
Right.
The answer is a fixed annuity. But the thing is, it's not always that simple. It really has to fit their picture. So we always start with the Tumolo retirement checkup. And then from there, we match up the investments. That's how it should be done. You shouldn't just, I just want to buy this. Why are you buying it? I don't know.
Right, right.
So, and that's how it goes a lot of times when someone meets with someone that doesn't plan, is they just sell them something. And so a big difference is we like to match it up to the problem. In fact, being a CFP, that's what they teach you when you're becoming a CFP anyways, is identify the problem and then fix the problem or try to fix it. And then can you add something in that helps fix the problem? So you're matching up the tool to the problem. So the one thing I want to say about annuities is before you used to always hear, oh yeah, annuities are bad, they're horrible. And it really came down to what was being advertised out there. The advisors that only worked in the market type things would say annuities are bad. But a lot of times they just didn't understand them or never even looked at them. And years back, I worked for a big group that was a group like that. Not naming names, but basically everyone around me was saying, oh, no, don't use annuities with your clients. Just put them in the market and let them weather the storm and so forth. And, I started to believe it. and then I had an eye-opening experience where I ended up working at a different group and then seeing a bad economy happen, a bad market happen, and then having some annuities in the picture actually helped the person through. So I'll tell you a real quick story.
Yeah.
Had a client, still have them, had, past tense, I have a client. And when they started working with us, same thing, I hate annuities. And this was about 3 years ago that they hated annuities. And so there's always more than one way to do things, and that's why I want listeners to know you don't actually have to build a plan and use an annuity to get through retirement. Sometimes you could do it with CDs, treasuries. There's multiple ways to do things to help someone get through. So with this client, when we originally set them up, we didn't use an annuity in the picture. Basically, we used a little bit more bonds and some CD type stuff just to add a safer side to their picture to get them through retirement. And about a week ago, they came into my office, and they're like, Ken, interest rates are going down, and he had a sizable amount of money in the bank. And he goes, I'm only getting this in the bank now. What can I do? And I'm like, well, remember 3 years ago, you told me you hate annuities? He goes, yeah, and I still don't like them. I go, well, the only thing that I know of right now that we could lock in a rate for a long time is just a plain old boring fixed annuity. And I call it a plain old boring fixed annuity because basically what you do is you put money into the annuity. Each year you get a set fixed rate. And then in the end, you either just get rid of the annuity or you renew it. And that's why it's just boring. That's how you want to treat it. And he goes, well, now it sounds good. and the reason why it sounded good is because the company actually was paying a higher interest rate than the bank. And they were locking the rate for him for 3 years. And so now this product, this tool that's actually going to give him what he wants. And remember I said you're fixing a problem earlier?
Yep. This
fixes his problem. Him and his wife were there, but he was the one that was more of like, I hate annuities. She was like, no, I just want something that makes interest. And so guess what? They ended up doing a plain old 3-year fixed annuity just to get their interest rate. And It's most likely the right move is what I'm going to say, because if interest rates are going down and trending down, they have now locked a higher rate for 3 years. So on this money that they leave off to the side that they'll probably never invest in the market, now they're actually earning good interest on, and they'll earn good interest for 3 more years. So it just betters their picture. And that's really what you're trying to do, is better someone's picture, use a tool that does it for them. And that's just an I hate annuity story. And so, and that's part of the issue with this whole annuity piece too. It's really, not everyone uses it as a tool, because there's people out there that just sell it. And I got to stress, always start with the Tumolo Financial Retirement Checkup, because the thing is because then we match up the things that fix the problems. It's using the proper tools. And I always hear the analogy, you're not going to use a hammer to drill a hole. Some people do. They just make a big hole and a mess in the wall. But but no, if you want a nice hole in the wall, you're going to use a drill. You're not going to use the hammer. And the whole thing is now you got this tool that's fixing a problem for someone. So it's just using the tools to fix problems and better your retirement. So start with the Tumolo Retirement Checkup. Our number, 860-854-3434.
Investment advice offered through Tumolo Wealth Management, a Connecticut-registered investment advisor. Content contained herein should not be construed as an offer or solicitation for investment advice or for the purchase or sale of any security, insurance, or other investment product. Please consult with a qualified financial, tax, accounting, or legal professional before implementing any ideas or strategies discussed here.